Right. Greetings to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Kuchando Conversations, Kuchando TV. This is where we give you all the conversations that affect us as the youth around. And my name is Lenny Black Angel, and I'm joined here with.
My name is Mpiwa. We are back again.
Yeah, so it's been a minute, guys, since we last recorded, but we'll try to be a little bit more consistent. Actually, the reason why we were not recording is because of the topic of today, which is in relation with time. So, here in the UK, for a lot of people that are staying in the UK, you would know that time is something of essence in the UK. It's something that you don't really have because in the UK, what we do, we have a working per hour system. So that working per hour system means that the days that you are not going to work, you are not earning any money. So people actually now prefer going to work so that they can earn money. And that in turn creates a moment in which everyone does not have time. So today we're just gonna relate on the importance of time. What is time? So the first thing we would like to talk about is time in relation to our space in the UK. So we do not have time, but then you need time. So what would you elaborate on that time aspect, the importance of time, and what not having time, especially now that you work per hour in the UK, can affect your life?
I think you mentioned it when you say that the UK, they use the hourly system. That means in order for you to be paid, they have to see the value of their time. It's different where we're coming from. In Zimbabwe, you can go to work from 8 to 5, but you can actually see the amount of time, free times that you'll be having during that time. And you are going to be paid less at the end of the month. But here they will be like, oh, you have to work per hour, then we'll pay you per hour. So that means if I go to work for 12 hours, that means I'll be busy, strictly busy, the whole 12 hours. So I think it's important for us to understand that time and money and time being the top aspect of everything that we're doing in this life.
Yeah. So I would say the fact that we do not have time means because someone in Africa, in Zimbabwe, the system that we are used to, can work from Monday to Friday and then they are free on a weekend. On a weekend, you can go out. On a weekend, you can have fun, and that in turn makes the brain sort of like be be rejuvenized
Yes,
or
yes,
or freshened up.
yes,
And then when
yes,
you go back on, so that's why there's this saying of saying on a Monday people are usually like, oh, it's a Monday again, because there's that system of saying you work from Monday to Friday you are off, and then Sunday you go to church, then
yes,
Monday you are going back to work. But here in the UK, because you are working per hour, that means Sunday can be your Monday,
yes,
Friday can be your Monday,
yes,
Sunday can be the last day of the week, and then
yes,
Monday is the day you are off, and that's the day you
yes,
want to go and enjoy and everything. So
yes,
I feel like we are in sort of like an upside down.
yes,
Yeah, so I think now we would maybe move on to how that would affect the youth, because
yes,
as youth we need to grow, as youth we need to move forward. So I feel like as youth, because you do not have time,
yes,
that in turn means you do not have much time to make up your mind,
yes,
to be able to dream big,
yes,
because we want to dream big so that we can achieve more. But how do you then achieve more when you actually don't have the time to
yes.
achieve more?
Like what you're saying, how does it affect us as youth? If you have time, uh, I would say, if there's no time, there's no production. That saying that says time is money or money is time, it's actually true. You might have enough time. If you don't have money, it's gonna be difficult. But if you have time without money, you can be productive at a certain stage. But if you have money and you don't have time, there is no production at all. So if someone in Zimbabwe, someone in Africa, they do more better things with their little money because they have ample time to do anything with that $200. But you are here and you have 5,000, but you don't have time. So that means people who are here, we are suffocated in that regard, that you have money but you don't have time. So if you don't have time, you can't think, you can't dream big, as you are saying. So it affects us very well, that you find out that it's 2 years ago that I was here. I came here 2 years ago, or I came here 5 years ago, but I don't have anything. Someone in Zimbabwe started working last month, but already they have bought something because they have $200 and they have time to think and to plan. Yes, so that's what I think. So it affects us very, very much. So that's what I think.
So in the UK, it's a little bit more expensive. So because you do not have time, but you have this little bit of money, you do not have the brain capacity and the time. You do have the brain capacity, but you do not have the time to fully think of what you really want to do. So in turn, you end up spending it on everything else that is expensive in the UK, and then you no longer have any money. And then at the end, like,
Yes.
life for you is not really like moving as much as someone that is like in Zimbabwe or Africa, that has a lot of time, but even with less money, they can be able to be like, oh, okay, let me do this other thing.
Yes.
Let me do this other thing. Let me enter. Plus, it's also easier to enter into those small other deals, like maybe lithium and going
Yes.
to buy lithium, going to whatever, all of those other deals. It's more easier to enter them while you are in Africa.
Yes.
But here you do have the resources, but you do not have the time and the capacity, the small deals to be able to just make a quick power. Oh, I've made £100.
Yes. I read a certain book. They were saying certain things about time, that in order for you to distract a black child or an African child, you have to give them entertainment. So that means when you are free, we are giving you entertainment. That means your free time, you can be productive with it. So they know that if I give you free time, you're gonna think like, oh, I'm being abused here, I'm being, I'm being used here. And this system that we are in the European countries, I think, I believe that they know what they are doing. So if we come here and we earn this amount of money we are earning now, if you earn 10,000 or 20,000 or 30,000 a year, and you have that money in your bank and you have enough time, generally you're gonna give them trouble. You're gonna open some organizations, you're gonna give them trouble. So in order to do that, I think it's part of the mental slavery or mental emancipation, whereby we give you resources but we take time away from you. So without time, they know that, okay, fine, this person can actually stay here for the next 50 years. And but the moment they realize that, okay, I'm wasting my time, it's already too late. So the moment you realize that you are here for the past 50 years, it's gone. You can't go and contest as an MP in your country because you're old now. You can't go and start a business because you're old now. So they know that, okay, fine. So you remain. So your kids, they can't go to private schools because now you have been earning minimum wage, but you have wasted 50 years. Now your child is coming up and they don't have enough money to go to better schools or whatever. So they are going to join the same system that you are doing here in the UK. So that it's actually like slaves being given to them for free, only that they've taken time away from you, and they've created 400 years of a certain system whereby they waste my time, they waste my child's time, they waste my grandchild's time. So it's free labor for them for the next 400 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it gets deeper when you start looking more into like how governments are involved with time and all of that. And yeah, at the end of the day, I feel like I don't think there's any country that really wants immigrants.
Yes.
And I feel like if your own country is not making time for you guys to be free in your own country and be able, because most of the time a lot of Zimbabweans travel South Africa, they have a lot of Zimbabweans UK, going all these places. It shouldn't be that way. People should go because they want to go, not they are going because they are forced to go, or that's the only option that is there.
Yes.
And what now happens is, when you reach these other countries that are not as flexible, you actually find out that you do not have time.
Yes.
But you can't do anything about it because it's either you don't want to go back to your old life, or sometimes you have this fear of, what if I go back and it doesn't do well? So you just stay where you are because you want to stay where you are because of the fear part.
Yes.
Of staying where you are, because you also don't have time. you can't really think of other things that you could do outside of whatever you are doing, and then you are just like in the same cycle over and over and over again.
Yeah, I think time, and you're talking about fear. I think we talked about it before again, that fear plays a certain component there, and we should understand that the moment we step out of our comfort zone, or the moment we step out of that fear zone, we are actually selling something. For instance, when we stepped out of our countries coming here, we have actually sold our time. And we had this discussion of saying, okay, fine, how many people here are educated enough? They have masters, they have PhD, they have degrees, but they are here and they are working in different type of fields. So now I have realized that probably maybe I've wasted 2 years of my time doing a certain job that is not part of my career area. But now the fear will come again and say, okay, fine, if you go to Namibia now and start to want to practice finance, I have wasted time. Number one, I'm not gonna waste time again. Number two, so the fear will come again as a quote to the time that we're talking about. So in order for me to realize that I've wasted time, it takes this type of discussions. But now fear will come to me and say, oh, no, if you go back, remember you were here for the past 5 years, so you've wasted 5 years. If I want to go further and say, oh, let me go back to Namibia and study my masters, fear again will tell me, you know what, if you go there, what if it doesn't work? So now you're asking, like, if I go there it doesn't work, that means I've wasted time again. So it's, I don't know, man.
So I feel like the combination of fear and time is the biggest threat that youth we are facing, because in the essence, you know that with time comes age, and with age comes a level of success or failure, and with that there's fear in between.
Yes.
Am I going to reach that success based on the fact that I'm now reaching a certain age, or am I going to fail and not reach that success, and when I reach that age I have failed? So am I going to stay in this comfortable position that I'm in now, because I fear that if I try and move to a more because entrepreneurship is literally just taking risk. Entrepreneurship just means risk taking. So if you take that risk, it might work or it might not work. But in between that, there's time. Time does not wait to say, your business failed, so let's just stop the time now so that you recover. Time continues to move. So the fear of losing time is what is making the youth stay in the same position. It's almost like the example you gave of when we're talking a woman that is being beat by their husband will stay because they fear of, what if I leave this man, or maybe they love this man or whatever. But you do not realize how much that is hurting you now, and within time you actually realize and be like, I actually wasted all that time. But the fear element there is what is affecting. So it's kind of
I think one of the things that we are not equipped to handle life is where we are coming from. We are not equipped to handle this life and this time. If you are in business, you put your business plan, you put your financial projection for 3 years. This is not the actual money that you have. It's a projection that you're saying, okay, in the next 3 years I will be here. If we are equipped enough to have our life projection, okay, fine, I'm here in Australia, I'm here in the UK, and this is my life projection. I'm earning so much, this amount of money, and I'm saving this amount of money. So in the next 3 years, I will be here. So if you have that projection, you actually you tell yourself, like, no, this is not gonna work. So after 1 year, I have to leave this place. Either it's working or it's not working, because this in the next 3 years, this is not gonna work. So, but the problem is we live our lives blindly. You'll be like, oh, I'm earning this amount of money. Okay, fine. Things will get better. But you are ignorant enough to just draw the pattern down and say, okay, fine. Am I going to be rich in the next 5 years? If you see, like, okay, fine, this is not gonna work.
Projection.
It's not gonna work. In business, if you are putting more stock and you know this is not gonna work, you are changing your strategy. That's how it is. You're gonna stage your game plan. So why can't we do that with our time? If I project my life and it's not working, before wasting 5 years, I have to leave. I have to try something else. I think we have to be equipped as youth. People have to tell us, like, you know what, son, if it's not working, I advise you to move. But now someone will tell you, like, if it's not working, just stay there. It's gonna get better.
As long as you have like food there, as long as you are.
Imagine. So the time is very important, but we are not equipped to how to analyze time. These other countries, Eastern countries, if you go to Arab countries, they value their time. They project that in the next 50 years we're going to be a global icon. If it's not working, they'll try another area. Okay, fine. I think deserts are not working as a tourist attraction. Let's build buildings so that people can come.
That's a good example with them, because they saw that, maybe our oil will run out at any point. And then they started creating a tourist place where people can come and enjoy with all these different kind of things. Because I was actually on the sand boarding. So not sand bashing. Dune bashing. So it's when a car is driving around really fast in the desert. So you've got desert. Isn't a desert? It's like it's mountainous. Like, so you've got places where it starts getting steep down and all of that. The car is just driving around in there. And this guy was telling me, because I was asking questions, this guy was telling me that when we are doing this, we service our cars every month, and we change that same car every year. They buy a new car every single year. So this would just tell you that these guys have a whole time management plan, that, okay, we are going to do this. By next year, we should have this. That would, because it's working. You see. So they have oil. They know the oil might run out. Now Dubai is there. Now you have Abu Dhabi. Now you have Qatar. All of these other places. Saudi Arabia is building amazing things. And this is them. I saw this other post saying in Zimbabwe, I don't know, it was 2016 or what, they once put out a plan saying making Harare
great in the 2030
or a major city by 2025 or 2030. And if you look at Harare, you'll be like, okay.
you see, because nobody values time. Nobody values time. But in order for you to value time, I think I love what you did this past months or this past year that you have been traveling around. It gives you that sense of saying, okay, fine, I think we are playing so much. We are playing too much with our time, other than other countries. If you go to Dubai next year, it's going to be a different place. If I go back to China next year, it's going to be a different, because they value their time. I was actually reading a post yesterday that China, they discovered a gold deposit worth billions. So if we are basing our economy in the next 10 years as a country, as Africa, as Zimbabwe, the next thing with gold, if China, and we give this gold to China, and if China decides like, we are no longer buying gold in Zimbabwe, we have our own, what are we going to do? So no one is doing these time projections. Okay, in the next 2 years, what's going to happen?
It's like lithium. We have lithium now, but we I don't think, because we should be building lithium plants and then making people come and buy batteries directly from us, making contracts with Tesco. With what's this one? Tesla. So that Tesla can come and build a plant in Zimbabwe. That will create employment. That will create. This is us valuing time and make sure that we move forward, because Tesla and the electric cars are the thing of the future. The best way to utilize time now is investing in what is the future, because we already have the resources that creates the batteries for these things, but I don't know what will be going on.
It's a lot is going on. I'll tell you that a lot is going on, and we are coming back for the time and fear factor that we are talking about, that if we do certain things now, it's gonna affect the next 2 months or the next 2 years or the next 3 years. But now we are being taught, like, our time that we have now as youth, we have time now. But if I tell you, like, okay, fine, I want you to plant a tree today, the fear is you might not be there to enjoy the tree. So no one has taught us, like, it is okay to build something for the next 10 years, for the next 15 years.
If you won't be there.
Because our elderly people, they were not doing that. So I grew up with people who were not planting trees. I grew up with people who were not investing their business for the next 5 years. So now it's actually a trauma to me to plan something for the next 5 years. If you tell me, let's buy let's say cows every year so that we can sell them after 10 years, I'll be like, no. That 10 years is too far, you see. So that time we have time to do those things, But now there's fear, so it's not. It's time is important. Fear plays a part, and our childhood traumas still play a part as well. So if your grandfather was not buying things so that you can enjoy in the next 20 years, you can't do it as well. Unless someone equips you and say, Lenny, it's okay to buy something and you enjoy it later. That's what I feel.
Yeah. So I feel like in the Middle East, one big thing that I learned is that they value everything.
Yes.
Like when it comes to even praying, they have these prayer sites every location.
Yes.
That way, even if you are in town, maybe grocery shopping, if the time for prayer comes, the shops are closing and you are finding your nearest praying area.
Yes.
Just to pray. And they've like 5 times a day for prayer, specific time of prayer to say maybe
Yes.
from 2 to 3 we are praying from this time to this time. And they have this amazing, like in Abu Dhabi they have the mosque, the Sheikh Grand Mosque.
Yes.
That is like an amazing place, and that place was built just for prayer.
Yes.
So how other people value time just made me think, as us as like Christians, us as like Africans, Zimbabweans, where exactly are we getting it wrong when it comes to time? Because if you look at other countries, they are investing into the future, but we are just stuck in the past, and we can't even figure out how to do the past well.
I think like you said about prayer times, and if you see a wealthy nation like that value their prayer time, and I always believe that time has something to do with creation, because time comes from the higher power. So it depends which religion you are. For us, time comes from God. So if God gives you time, that means He gives you time so that you can create certain things. So in order for you to honor God, you have to as well honor the time that He has given unto you. So if you are not honoring the time, then how then can you honor God as well? So these people have mastered it. Like, in order, we have this time, but we have to allocate another segment again of time so that we can honor Him, so that He can give us other ability to create in the time that we have. But for us now, we don't know how to pray. As from where we're coming from, we don't know how to pray. We don't know how to value time. We don't have resources as well. So how then are we going to prosper? Because we are lacking a lot of things. If you go to your pastor, you wanna pray for you, he's not teaching you how to pray. But I remember disciples asking God, like, teach us how to pray. Because if you are taught how to pray, you are taught how to honor God. You are taught how to honor the time. Without honoring God, without honoring time, we are not going anywhere. That's what I feel personally.
Yeah. So guys, I think time is is a very big topic, and I don't think we can be able to like finish everything. So now we just spoke on the importance of time in terms of development, self-development, or we even drove into nation development. I think we can also do another video on time. You guys can request if you want it. We have things like achievement of goals when it comes to time. How do you achieve goals when it comes to time? We have reflection and planning, because now we are getting to the year end, and we need new year resolutions.
Did you finish? Did you complete your?
We'll do that
Did you complete your? Did you complete your New Year's resolution? By the way,
productivity and creativity, balanced life. We have the mental aspect of time, the physical health aspect. We have building relationships as well, because relationships and time related. Maybe we can shoot the part 2 now, and we'll just show you guys later, or you guys can request and we'll just come back. But otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Kuchando podcast, and this was an episode on time and everything related with time. Peace out. Thank you.
Peace out.